For this second 2-minute wildlife photography tips, I wanted to talk again about the importance of getting to eye level with the animal that you're photographing. And I know I talked about this last week as well, about lying down. Not all animals are on the ground, so it doesn't always make sense to lie down. And second of all, not everybody can or want to lie down on the ground. So I wanted to come up with a couple of tips for the people who can't or don't really want to lie down. I think it's the number one mistake that beginner wildlife photographers make, is not getting to eye level with the subject. A lot of wildlife, and birds in particular, are very often found in trees. And what we don't want to be doing is pointing our camera up like this. It doesn't create a very engaging image looking up at the animal. It doesn't suit itself for a very nice background because it's usually just a blown out sky in the background. So today, coming up a little bit on a hill slant, and you see all these trees that are below me here. I'm actually getting to eye level with all these trees below me. Now some hills can be a lot more accessible than this. You can find hills by roadside, so you can stand on the pavement and photograph on the trees that are slightly lower than you. Just the other day I was photographing crossbills at the top of a hill, and crossbills were on top of the pine tree, but they were slightly lower than me, and I was on top of the cliff, so I could photograph straight out and eye level with them. So other ways of photographing wildlife that's on the ground is to find places where you're slightly lower than the ground. The edge of the field has a slant, and I could just stand slightly lower of that field and I can photograph straight on and get to eye level with the animals that were in the field. I've walked along canals, and sometimes they have weirs, basically these little dams, but the water kind of flows over it. And very often they'll have pathways right next to it. In the middle of Edinburgh, I photographed jackdaws, and they were on top of a really big tree, and I could just stand on Dean Bridge, photograph straight onto them at eye level. Now there's also things like buildings you can photograph out of a window to get to eye level. It's just all about looking out for opportunities, making a note of it, and coming back and experimenting. If you have any other tips for how to get to eye level, then please leave them in the comments below. And you can check out this video right here where I was photographing jackdaws in Edinburgh using the bridge to get me to eye level. So, hope that was useful. I'll catch you next week. Bye.